Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Eitan. I live in upstate New York and I run Sphere Bloom. And I just wanted to make this quick video for anyone who wants to send this video to their employees. What I do is I help local business owners build websites and automations. That way it makes their life easier and I charge a monthly fee for this. And I want to go over how to build high-level websites. Right, I feel like I've searched online because I have too much business that I can handle, and I'm going to hire someone to build the websites for me, so it'll make it much easier. And I thought I'd make this video to either send them, or you can send someone, or you can just learn yourself how to build high-level websites. And I'll try to make this short and sweet and to the point, so I save you time, because time is the most important resource in our universe. So you go into the high-level platform, right? And then you would go into, on this side menu right here, the side panel, you have all these crazy things. For now, we're going to focus on sites. Under sites, you can see on top, you have, okay, now from the side menu, you have sites. This is what we're going to be focusing on. On the top panel, you have right there all the other sub menus, right? So what I would be focusing on is funnels and websites right now. Funnels is basically a one-pager that redirects you to another page to basically disqualify and qualify leads. And websites are just a page for your information, right? You can do the same thing, but it's really interchangeable. So for websites, what you would do is you would click New Website. And there's two options right here. The first option is go to Template Library, and I would go over this really soon. And this template library, you have millions of, not millions, thousands of templates that you can use. And you can just change up the typography, the copy, the pictures, and you're good to go. Now what we're going to do a website name, right? When you click website name, you type in, let's say we'll do Billy's Paving, right? Paving company. You would do create website. Then once the website is created, it would show it up here. You would click into it, and right now you would have no pages. So you just click add new page. You would call it home, for example, right? And then you would have it right here. So this page is currently blank. Now what you can do, you can view it right here, or you can edit it. So what I like doing is, instead of edit page, I do edit in a new tab, because sometimes you want to work on two things at once. So I open a new tab, and this is what it shows you. It's currently completely blank. First, let's go over the top menu right here, what you see. Every time when I figure out new softwares, I like just scanning everything from the top to bottom and clicking everything. That's how you know what to do fast. So first, there's the back button. Obviously, that's self-explanatory. Then you have the desktop view, which is what we're in right now. When you click mobile view, it shows you how that same website looks on a mobile. Settings, we have SEO metadata. That would be naming the images, the typography, the buttons for SEO. Then you have a tracking code. Then you have the custom CSS. You can add whatever CSS you'd like if you want to change things that the editor does not allow you to. Then you have the background, right? The background, you can either choose a color, right? And that would be the whole background, like the whole website by default, or you can add a image, right? So let's say here, I forgot that so when you click image, anywhere on the website you have an image. So the image is based on a URL, but how do you create that URL? So let's try it. First, you click images. After you click it, it brings you to the image library, where you have all your media right here. It's still loading. So let's say, for example, I would want to put an image, a background image, right? So I would go, let's say, new tab. I would look up, let's say, paving. I would look up paving. Oh, these searches are so annoying. Watch, I would look up paving, 4K, home. Then I'd go to images. My Wi-Fi is super slow, but then you can take any image you'd like. I'm just showing you an example. And then you would take this picture, for example. There we go. And then we would drag this picture right to that tab and put it right in there. Then it would load into the software, and it's now creating a link for that image, right? So after it does that, let's let it load right here. Perfect. Now that it created the image, you double click it, and then the whole background of your website would revert to that image, right? So sometimes you want a little lower quality images, so it really does it loads fast. But then you want to remove it, you just remove the link. There you go. Now, last, typography. I'll go over that in a second. So when you click typography, you have the headline font. This is basically, in general, you have a headline and a content font. That's based on the software's backend, what it uses. So the headline font would be Montserrat, right, for example. Then the content font, we would choose Lotto. And then you can choose the text color and the general link color. Let's choose, for example, red. Now that the typography and everything is set, we can see here the sections. So each website is built by sections, rows, columns, and elements. And they each go in order. So sections are the biggest. You have, let's say, 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections. So a section, let me show you. Let's choose full width. Now, green represents section. You can see right here. Within a section, you can see a side menu pulled up right here. That's all the settings that are within that section. So within that section, we can name the element right here for your SEO. Then you can see right here the spacing options, right? So you have padding to the left, which is within the section. You have padding left, right, bottom, top. Then you have margin. So let's say margin for the bottom, I would move it, right? And then you see I didn't add, so watch. Let me move my face right here. So then you have a background color just for that specific section. So I can choose this, and then that would be the background color. Now, let's see shadow. You can add a box shadow, and then it adds a shadow to that. So like 40% drop shadow. There you see, then it adds a shadow. And then there's sticky. So you could do stick to top on scroll. That's usually for header menus. Then you have a background image. So you can have a background image within that section. Now allow rows to take out entire width. Okay, that is general. So within advanced, you have border options, you have the width, and then visibility. Visibility always falls under advanced. So when you have visibility, you can click here if you want that certain section or element to show up on mobile or on desktop, right? So sometimes certain images are weird sizes on desktop or on mobile, and then you want to duplicate it. I'll show you a strategy soon. So you can duplicate it and basically make it fit more for mobile. Now right here, CSS selector, you can copy the elements code. Now from an element, a section, we can add a row. So you can see sections, rows, columns, and elements. Within the section, you add a row. You can add 1 column, 2 column, up to 6 columns, right? So you can do this, for example, for different testimonials, if you want 3 buttons in the same row and things like that. So let's add 1 column. Let's say now I have a column. Within that column, there's always elements. So within a column, you have 1 column, remember? So you add an element. Now another menu pulls up here and you have all the things that you can add to that row. So within that row, you can add a headline, right? So I'll go through each one. So a headline, we would type, "Get your website for free today." Perfect. Now if you want to add another part within that row or within that column, you can click plus. You just click plus. Now another good feature is you can just duplicate it. If you want to duplicate it, that does the same thing. Then you can delete it. Now let's click plus, and it brings up the menu, and I want a subheadline. I want to say we provide free websites for local businesses, right? And then now you have two elements right here. We have a headline and then a subheadline. Now let's say I think it's too close to each other. So I would go to the headline and I would go right here. You see you have all these options. Now you can choose a background color for that one. I rather not. Now you can choose the opacity. You can choose the text shadow. This is very powerful, especially if you have a background image and it's hard to read the text. Now you have the letter spacing. You have the text aligned. So where does it align to within that container? Right? So you can have this, you can have the middle. Now the box shadow, this is the shadow of the box itself. Now you have the mobile font size and the desktop font size. The desktop font size is self-explanatory. You can see I move it and it makes the headline bigger. Now let's see how the same website compares to mobile. I would go to the mobile view and there's the same thing. Now if you see that I change the mobile font size, it does not affect the desktop size, right? So that is a very smart feature right there, because a mobile is usually smaller and the dimensions are different. Now, like I said, I think it's too close. I want to separate them a little. So I would go down to the spacing options and I would choose margin bottom. Now you can see as I move it, it goes further. Now let's go back over this and you can see here typography type. So here you can choose content font, and let's say I want the content font, right? Then it would change to the font that I set within the typography right here. Now if I change the typography font to Open Sans, it would change that instantly. See, this is very useful if you want to change the font for all your website instantly. Now another thing you can do, this is good for like checklists and stuff, you can add an icon. So let's say I want to add web. So I would add, let's say, this YouTube for some reason, right? I can add any icon I'd like. Now color options, you have here the color. Now you can have bold text color, so you can have a different color for when the text is bold. Currently the text is bold. So if I select it and remove the bold, and I only bold free, right? Then only the free would be red and bolded. And you can do the same thing with italic, with underline, with link text, and you can change the color of the certain icon that you'd like. Now, let's go and add another element. So I want to add a paragraph. I want to write, oh, this is too close. So I would go here. I would go to margin and I would choose to change it. So I can add any text right here. So this text is too small, I believe. So I would go here. I would make the text bigger. There it is. I want to make it align to the left. Perfect. Now what I want to do, this section is good for now. I want to add another section. So I would click add section, full width, add row. Now I want to do testimonials. I would add 2 columns. Let's say I want to do a testimonial. I would do headline, new, right? Another headline, John Doe, right? John Doe. Perfect. And now as you can see, instead of having one straight column across the website, you have 2 different ones. Now as you see fit, you can choose the size of them, and you can even duplicate that certain column. So let's say within that column I want to add so let's go over this. Let's say you have a form, you have a button, you have a form, you have blog posts, you have videos, images, FAQs, you have custom JavaScript, you can do surveys, that's within high level, you can do calendars, maps. Let's say I want to add, you see you can connect your reviews, you can add an SVJ icon, you can add a countdown. Let's say I want to add a countdown, right? I want to create scarcity for the website. So I would go to here and I would choose what font, of course, and then the size of of everything, and then the date. The end date would be tomorrow. So you see tomorrow at 12 a.m., that's in 5 hours. Now I want to add a divider, so it's better. And then within that divider, I would choose the margin on top to go. I would choose 5. And then the margin on the bottom, I want to do 10. Now the color of that one, I want to do red because that's the theme of my website. Now the width, I want to do 50%. The height, 2 pixels. Here, let's do 30%. Now I'm going to add another element. And I want to add a, let's see right here, I want to add an image. Let's add an image. So it would go down, and you can see you can choose the background color of your image. So that would be like that. And then you can choose the opacity. You can align your image in different sections. And then this is the link to the image. So you would click here, and then it would go to your media library. And then you can choose any image you'd like, right? So let's say you want this image. I would double click it, and it would put the image right here with the link right here that it created. Just give it a second to load. Perfect. So as you can see, it added that image, right? So now that image, I think it's a little too big. So within the image options, you can choose the width and the height. If you want a specific width and height, it would usually distort the image, right? So if I choose that, look how distorted it is. If you do not put any number within the height, it just does it automatically based on the size of the image. So let's say I'll do 300. That's a good size. And then I can choose image actions. So what happens when someone clicks on the image, right? It can open the pop-up, or you can go to a certain URL, like a Facebook page or whatever. Now up here, let me show you what a pop-up is. So I want to add a button. Now I added a button. I can go right here and see all the settings of the button. And under themes up here, I can choose a theme of the button. You have different themes that you can choose. I like this one specifically, so I would choose that one. I would go to general, and I would put the color red because that's the color of our website. And then I can choose the size of it, the shadows, the fonts, and an icon. I want an icon after. You can see before and after. I want to add, let's say, let's say YouTube. Let's do this house, for example, right? So once someone clicks on that button, first you would scroll down text options. So what does that button say? You can say sign up now. Now after that person signs up now, you can choose subtext, right? So you can choose click here to sign up now, right? So that's a subtext. Sometimes they look really nice, and it's better to keep it simple. Now I think I want to make it a little wider, the button. So what would I do? I would go to advanced. And by the way, there's text transform, so you can transform the text to uppercase. Everything is uppercase. You can do full width, so it would be the full width of that certain element. Then button effects. So these are effects of the button. Now you have loop, which is glow. You can see it glowing usually in a dark background. You have rocking, and it moves like this. And then over hover, you can have elevate. So whenever you hover over the button, it elevates. Now background styles. Let's see. There it is. Vertical space and horizontal. So the vertical space is up and down, right? So if I do 40, it's just way too much. But I want to lengthen the horizontal space. So if I do 30, you can see it lengthened it. I want to do 40, it makes it wider. Again, visibility. You can choose so it's on phone and not on computer, and vice versa. You have a border right here, full border, as you see. Now, this button on the bottom, you go to button actions, and this controls what the button does once you click it. You can have open pop-up, which to edit the pop-up, it's a pop-up that goes on your website. You click pop-up, and there it goes. Every time you click the button, that happens because we chose in the button that the pop-up comes up. And within here, you can add whatever you'd like. You can add a headline, you can add a sub-headline, and then you can add a form that you created that you want someone to fill out. Or you can add a video. Now, when it comes to a video, you can see here, background color. Again, you can choose a background color. Let's choose red. You can choose a box shadow. I would do 40%. Now, the video type, you can choose YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, custom embed. Custom embed is what you would use for Loom, HTML5, and hosted video. Now, then you put the video URL. You can do autoplay, so the second it comes up, it plays automatically. Then controls, and then you have full width. So 3/4 width, you can choose the size of that. Now let's close it. Now, this is what's interesting with columns. Because I have 2 columns here, let's delete this. I can actually delete this column, and then it instantly goes to full page. But now what I can do is for testimonials or for pictures or for stuff like that or for projects completed, you can do right here, duplicate. My favorite feature. It saves so much time. Clone. Just like that, you have 2 of the same thing, as you see right there. And you can change the picture of that, and you can change the button. Now, we have a nice website. It's looking really nice. What we can do is click save. And once you click save, it prompts you to put in the SEO metadata. You don't have to. It just helps with ranking higher on Google. Now for the title, let's say put, for example, free website. Description, free websites for all, right? And then you can put keywords. You can put a social image. So this social image is what would come up after someone shares the link of your website. So it would show right here, as you can see right here. It would show an image. Now let's preview our website and see how it works. So when you click preview, sorry, my internet is super slow. You see, we've got a website. It's that simple. Now, in a few minutes, I'll go over how to do the templates. You can see you've got the timer, it's working. You've got the name, you've got the picture. Now let's click the button. As you see, we hover over it, you click it. Large call to action, there we go. We have the video right there. You click it, you have the video. Awesome. Now I want the button to do something else. So what would I do? I would go to click the button. I would scroll down, and I would go link to. I can open a specific website URL. This is if you want to put any link on the internet. You could hide elements. You could scroll to a certain element on your website. So you click scroll to element, and then you would choose that element within here. And then you can do go to page. So within here, within all of these, the sections, the rows, you have versions. This shows the past versions of the website. You click preview and save. Right here, it will show all of your pages. So like this is usually like under a menu. You would have like home, contact us, testimonials. It would all show up here. And those pages are actually these, right? So these different pages. So what we would do is that's basically how the websites work in a nutshell. Let's go over the templates. Let's say I want to go to websites and do a new website, and then name for your awesome website. Let's wait for it to load. So click new website. Now let's go to template library. This is what will truly save you time when you're creating a website for a local business. You'd click go to template library. Within this library, you have hundreds of templates that you can utilize for your local businesses or people who might need these websites. right? People spend hundreds of hours making these websites, so you don't have to. So just utilize it. Within here, you can choose a category. You can choose the type, like what's the goal of the website, and you can choose tags. Each website here is tagged, so it's easier to find what you're looking for. So, for example, Billy's Paving, right? Billy's Paving. I would go paving. There is no websites for paving. So, for example, let's take any website. I would go to Advisors Financial. There's a quick description, and you can select it or you can view it. So let's view the website, how it looks, before we actually import it to our high-level account. First things first, here's the website. You can click all the stuff. You can see the website, how nice it looks. They really built for you already a website. All you have to do is change up the text. You can use ChatGPT. Super simple. You have testimonials. You put your logo. And you already know how to do everything. Now let me show you. Let's click continue and agree, and then get this template. Now as it loads, let's wait for it to load. As it loads, you'll notice that once we go in the website, you'll have everything set up for you, and all you have to do is just change the things that are needed for that website, like the pictures, the buttons. I'll show you right now. There it is. You see Advisors Financial. That's the new website we created. Within that website, they already created for us 5 different pages that we don't have to create. Now let's go to the settings of the website. You have the name of the website. So let's change it to People Finance. And then you have the path. So you can do home. And then you can put here the head tracking code for Facebook Pixel or whatever. And then you have the domain. So here's where you would choose the domain that you want. The favicon URL is where you can actually go to your media. You can import a picture, take that link, and put it in the favicon URL. And then within a few seconds, you open a new tab and the favicon would show up with that picture. The body tracking code, you put your chat widgets right in there, the live chats. Now let's click save. And there we go, People Finance. Now after settings, you have sales. I won't cover that for now, but you have stats too. So here are the stats for the business or the website, right? It tracks everything. So you have here the page views. You have how many people opt into certain forms or surveys that you created. You have sales, right? How many sales you've made if you have any products. And you have earnings, you have page view, and then you have the page view or the information, the stats for each single page. So this way you can tell your customers, you can walk into a business, say, hey, do you need a website? And then they're like, yeah, we don't have one. We've been working for 20 years and millions of customers, but we don't have a website. And then you say, oh, perfect. Well, I can get you a website and I can get you the stats for the website that you'd like. So they see all the people that come in, and you can actually go back and help them track the numbers and see basically if, let's say, every 100 people who visit the website, only 1% opts in, then you can increase the conversion rates based on images, pictures, videos, and things like that. Let's go back to pages and check out one of these templates. So let's go to home and let's click edit and edit a new tab. Okay, now as the website loaded, usually it takes a few seconds just on my mobile data. You can see it's the same exact things, just you have here much more elements and much more rows and sections and columns. But all you do is literally edit the things in there, right? So let's say you want to do helping people with their accounting all online, right? Whatever. And then you can choose to edit that. You can do all the edits on the side menu that I taught you. And usually every website comes with a navigation menu. So let me cover that. You see a logo. You would scroll down to you click the navigation menu. You would scroll down to image options, and then you have the picture right here. So you would click media. You would upload your file and put your image right in there. And then you can choose the width of the image. Let's say I want it 200. It's a little bigger. I want it 500. It's really big. 100, small. Now let's go over the real navigation menu. So I would go to menu items. So under menu items, you can actually go and do add items. So let's click edit one of the items. You would click right there, and you can choose home page. That's the title, which would show up here. You can choose what it does. So there's two options: go to page, and then you can choose one of the pages that you already have, or you can do go to website URL. You can click here and do Facebook, and then go to website URL, and open a new tab, and then submit, and there you go. It updated, and then whenever someone clicks that, it goes to your Facebook page, and then you can add an item, just like that. New menu, perfect. Now I think I covered everything. You can see here there's different elements, different styles. Just play around with it. I hope I can help. And that was it. Have a good day, and remember, I don't know what to say. Just have a good one. Hope I could help. Bye.